This is the OSINT framework. It's not so much a tool as it is a conglomerate of free tools that are available online. There are a few that do cost money, as mentioned before, but most of them are free. And how this works is you can access this by just going to osintframework.com and you start looking at this little tree here. There's all kinds of things you can start with: username, email address, domain name, whatever you want to go. What do you want to start with? I'm just going to start with a username. Let's say that I found a list of usernames in a data breach and I've got a username and password. I want to see where else that username is used. So we're going to go to a username search engine and we're going to check usernames. All right. When you click on that, it just opens up a new window where you can type it in. So for these purposes, I'm just going to type in generic name 1 and we're going to check username. But what's actually happening here? So it's going to reach out to all the major websites on the internet and it's going to cross-reference this username. It's going to look for that. Now, why are we doing that? Well, if we already have a username and password, we already know that people tend to reuse usernames and passwords. So, for example, we're not going to be able to get into YouTube. That username has not been used. We have no clue. But Twitter has been. So if we had this username and password from a different data breach, maybe we could try to log in with Twitter with it. Maybe we could try eBay. Maybe we could try Pinterest. And that's what you get with this information. And that's what OSINT Framework takes you. You started off with a little bit of info and you move down the tree to find something else. Now, if we click back to OSINT Framework, we want to look up something else. We can just close this out, click off the name. What else do we want to know? Well, let's look up domain names. We want to find different domain names for someone else. All right, we know a single domain, so let's look up the subdomains. You can go through and click on whatever you want here. I'm just going to click on one of these, and we'll see what happens. Now you can see something that's different. This isn't just a search and type. This is actually a downloader or something. But that's what you get with the OSINT framework. It doesn't always just search and type and search. Sometimes it actually takes you to the actual tool that you can use to download. But we don't want that. We want to just find something online that we can search. We don't want to have to do that. So if we can go to subdomains and click on Find Subdomains, again, it's going to open up a new window where you can type in. Just for this, I'm just going to throw in walmart.com just to see what else exists on there. We hit search. Now, it's going to look for every other subdomain associated with Walmart. Now, why would we do that? Well, let's say Walmart's our target. Now, their core web server, the one that's hosting walmart.com, is probably pretty secure. It's probably been taken care of great. Everyone knows about that IP and URL, so it's probably pretty protected. But if we start going through the other ones, photos3.walmart.com, WLFC.walmart, these are other subdomains associated with it. So if we could get into one of these, maybe we could then hop over to walmart.com. And that's the benefit of finding subdomains. But the goal here, I really want you to see how powerful the OSINT framework is. Everything you can think of. This is something to get in, just click through, play around with. I've never even clicked through everything. But every time I click on one of these, it just pops something else out and tells you exactly how to get there. I'm going to do an FTP search. Here's what you can do. You want to do a general search? Here's what you can do. Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, so forth. Everything you could possibly think of as a tool to use for scanning and reconnaissance, it's going to exist in here. Like, some of them do cost money, some of them have to be downloaded, but for the most part, you can always find one to search.